Hey everyone, this is Sarah Rayne, and I'm here to bring you our monthly full moon collective tarot reading. And before I start, I just want to say that I am showing up. I'm showing up as an act of service. I'm showing up in solidarity to everyone who's protesting right now, everyone who is processing big emotions, big feelings, big grief. I am showing up in awareness of the moment and of my place in this moment, and have decided to still share this month's content, as I said, as an act of love and an act of service. I just wanted to say that to start with, and I hope that, as always, this supports and nourishes you in whatever way serve your highest good. And I also wanted to say that I have a personal goal of keeping this short and sweet for you all busy, wild people out there, so we'll see how that goes. So we have a full moon coming up in Sagittarius this upcoming Friday, which is June 5th, and we are in Gemini season right now. The full moon is also coming with an eclipse, which is super fun, and it begins our eclipse season. The first set of eclipses are going to last those 2 weeks between June 5th, which is when our full moon is, and June 20th and 21st, which is when we have our summer solstice and we have our new moon in Cancer. And the eclipses, I believe, they're happening on the Gemini Sagittarius axis throughout this year, beginning now and then again around 6 months from now. So, and a bajillion planets are in retrograde, and Mercury is about to go into retrograde, and the world is burning. So suffice it to say, it's an intense time right now. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about Sagittarius energy. As some of you may know, I'm a Sagittarius sun. I probably don't say it enough, but saying it again. And so Sagittarius, the kind of stereotypical things that we are known for is kind of being these like partiers into like fun and like drugs and being irresponsible and, enjoying ourselves like maybe a little too much. Sagittarians are also known for being travelers, for kind of wanting to always like wander and explore and travel the globe. And so they kind of, I'd say the kind of stereotypical reputation of Sagittarians is to maybe be a little reckless, but to be like a lot of fun, be the life of the party. Another aspect of Sagittarians is that we always are very blunt with our truths, whatever those truths might be, whoever we may be expressing them to. We're always quite vocal with whatever we feel the truth to be, and we're always expressing it as we need to express it. And that can be good in some cases, and that can also be, hard in some cases, and some more delicate relationships, or when, the other party doesn't really want to hear your truth at that time. So that's a kind of positive and shadow aspect. But besides just being fun forever, Sagittarius is also, it's the centaur and it's the archer. So it's also the warrior. And that's kind of an energy that I've been thinking a lot about lately. So Sagittarius is the warrior, and Sagittarius is also a philosopher. A lot of them can be teachers. And there's this kind of deep quest in all Sagittarians' activity for knowledge, for understanding, for all of these experiences that we have kind of inform our understanding of the world and of what's going on, and that search for truth and that experience of truth is all wrapped up in our desire for knowledge and desire for understanding on a soul level. And at the same time, we're in Gemini season, so Sagittarius is a fire sign, Gemini is an air sign, and Gemini is very much of the mind, and is similar to Sagittarius. It's the opposite sign, but it's similar to Sagittarius in that kind of quest for knowledge. But I think the way they go about it is a little different. And so you may have felt when Gemini season began, I definitely felt it, this kind of activation and almost overloading of the mental realm. It can kind of be like going through all these scenarios really super quick in your brain and like not even giving yourself time to pause. So there's a lot of mental stimulation happening right now, both I think internally, and with everything that's going on in the world and everything that has been going on in the world, for the past few months. So I've been thinking about Sagittarius as the warrior energy, and been thinking about how we can all show up as warriors in our own way, because there can be, warriors who are actually, physically putting their bodies on the line, and that can be, the people at the front lines of the protest. It can be, the medics who are on the street. Those are some version of healing warriors, and there can also be, peaceful warriors. There can be warriors who just use their voices. There can be warriors who use their art. I think that when we're talking about a warrior, to me, what that evokes is the image of kind of using your passion and your inner fire and your ferocity in whatever way works for you, in whatever way is aligned for you, in whatever way makes sense for you. And I think that what's happening now is, there's a global awakening, and there's a global outcry, and everyone, in who's protesting the injustices of our system, they're using their voice, and they're using their passion, and they're using their fire. And I think in the best cases, in like the most aligned cases, their intentions are coming from their heart. They're being driven from their heart and being led from their heart. And I think that if we can, keep on being led from the heart and being led from this desire for justice, and this desire for equality, and this desire for true freedom and liberation for all people, I think that if we can center this all from a place of love and wanting everyone to be able to experience love and peace and liberation on this planet, then I think that we can get a lot done collectively. So I just wanted to say that I think that you can work with this energy of the Sagittarius full moon to check in with yourself, and to check in with your own fire, your own drives, your own passions, what you care about deep in your heart, and figure out how to show up as a warrior in this time. And as I said, that can be a peaceful warrior. It can be a healing warrior. I'm, offering free sessions to people of color. I'm, showing up here for you. I'm, every morning sending Reiki protective energy to the protesters. I'm doing what I can, because I'm not in a position to be able to be physically protesting right now. And so I'm still working with my heart energy, with my fire, and with my passion to be able to do what I can, because as with a lot of us, everything that's happening right now is hitting me deeply in the heart. And, everything that we've been experiencing for the last few months is just, something's got to change, y'all. Something's really got to change. And I think there's a fire, and there's a passion, and there's a moment, and there's a magic with this full moon that's on Friday that you are invited to work with. And I also do want to say, though, that eclipses can be very unpredictable and can be volatile. Shit can shift quickly like that. And so just be aware that if big events or big changes are happening, that's all part of the magic, and that's all part of the cycle, and that's all part of the balance of what happens when we get into eclipse season. So that's going to be the end of my beginning rant, because I want to keep myself on time, and I'll just give you the medicine of the cards. If you don't know, if this is your first time joining me, this is a collective full moon tarot reading. So this is a reading that I do for you, for me, for everyone who watches it to benefit from. And, this is advice from the universe, so you can take it or leave it. I hope that it serves. I hope that it nourishes. I hope that it can help you get through this time that we're in. All right, so the first question that I asked is, how can we care for and nourish our hearts? And I ask this because, as I said, a lot of what's being felt right now is hitting us deeply in the heart. A lot of us are being led by our hearts. A lot of us are processing this grief and this outrage and this fear and this anger in this space that holds so much and that does so much for us. And so I think that I think that it's important to be taking care of ourselves so that we can be strong, so that we can be warriors, so that we can be showing up in the way that feels aligned for us to show up in the world. So what we got for this question is, how can we care for and nourish our hearts? And we actually got the star. The star. So the star is kind of about this oneness and this trust and this presence with the divine. You see that this figure, she is, she's fully naked, she's in the celestial realm, and she's pouring out these vessels of water, fully trusting that her cup will be refilled again, fully trusting that she will be taken care of, that she will have everything she, ever needed. And there's this kind of, this level of ascension that you get to when you get to the star in the Fool's Journey and the Major Arcana of the Tarot. But in general, it's kind of about, it can be about a lot of things, like all of the cards, but it can be about service and about kind of like letting the spiritual energy pass through you. But for us today, we're asking how we can take care of ourselves. And so what I got for this is to actually figure out where is it, how is it, what is it that you do that allows you to be with spirit, that allows you to be with God, with the creator, with the universe, whatever your terminology is, for this divine force that's holding all of us. If you can think for a moment, what is it that you do? Is it praying? Is it running? Is it dancing? Is it singing? Is it getting naked and dancing in the woods under a full moon? Is it all of the above? Is it enjoying the pleasure of your own body? Is it standing under a waterfall, swimming, walking with the trees, chanting with a circle of witches? What is it? Well, it feels more solitary, but it might not be. But what is it that you do that allows you to feel like you are bathing in the presence of the divine? And if you don't know, maybe you can take some time to experiment and figure out what that is. But there's an invitation here to actually show up and be vulnerable and surrender to the light of the divine, to surrender to the presence of spirit in the world, and to allow spirit directly to refill your cup, to allow yourself to be caretaken, to allow yourself to show up like a child of the universe and allow the universe to take care of you. And that's kind of, it almost seems like it could be counterintuitive, because we're doing a lot of caretaking right now. We're doing a lot of processing. We're doing a lot of space holding, all of us, even if it's just for ourselves. There's big, big, big energies and big emotions moving through us right now. But we also need to be taken care of, and it's not necessarily the job of another person or a parent or a friend, although of course reach out to your community and be with your community. I will always support that, but there's this bigger picture caretaking that needs to happen. There's this filling of the cup directly from source, unfiltered, unbottled, no plumbing involved, just source and you, and refilling the cup of your heart. And this might also look like just like laying on your bed and just crying and just like talking to God, whatever it means for you. There's an invitation to be vulnerable, an invitation to allow whatever is moving through you to move through you, especially tears. Tears can be cleansing. You can also directly work with the water element, of course. If you can, if you can make it to a waterfall or a stream to actually put your body in it, great. If you can't, you can go to, a park. You can go to Prospect Park or somewhere else, and you can be with the water and just like allow those energies to help cleanse your energy. There's a cleansing that needs to happen. And after this cleansing and after this filling and after this being with spirit, you will then have more to give. You will have this deep well of energy in your heart that you can then use to fuel your passions and fuel your warrior spirit and what else is going on with you. So surrender to the divine, allow it to help you. Next question is, how can we grant ourselves more freedom? Sagittarius loves freedom. And the answer we got is the Fool. So basically, and I feel like this has come up a lot this year for us, but I think that it's a big theme, but basically you can grant yourself more freedom by giving yourself permission to be bold, to be brave, to jump into whatever new reality you decide, to reinvent yourself, to have a beginner's mind, and to approach something, to understand that this whole everything that's happening right now is a new paradigm. Everything that has shifted from the coronavirus to, this uprising for justice, and it's continuing to happen throughout the year. This is a new paradigm, and things don't look the same. They're not going to look the same. We're not in the same world we're in anymore. So acknowledging that and giving yourself infinite permission to start again, giving yourself infinite permission to reinvent yourself, understanding that globally we're in a tower moment, everything's crumbling. So what is your new beginning? What are you allowed to do that you didn't think you were allowed to do before? How can you admit that you didn't have all the facts before, or you weren't willing to look at everything before, and now with your new eyes, with your new vision, what are you now jumping into with your new awareness? And again, allowing for this to be ongoing, to be a spiral, to be a cycle, but just giving yourself permission to be brave, to be bold, to take risks, and to put yourself out there. And by giving yourself permission to be and do anything that you aspire to be for your highest good, that is the ultimate freedom. When there's nothing holding you back anymore of what you thought you were, how you thought you were supposed to be, etc., then it's a blank slate, and that is the freedom that we're looking for in this time. Our next question is, where can we lend our strength, our voice, or our passion for the greatest good? So what we got for this is Knight of Cups in reverse. So what I'm getting for this is that I think the most important thing for this, the most important thing to keep in mind for showing up with your strength, for kind of helping the greatest good in whatever way that you can, is to be present in your body and to be present in this reality. And you don't need to go on a vision quest to figure out what your role in this is. You don't need marching orders from God to figure out what your role in this is. And there's also an ask and an invitation not to tune out, not to disassociate, not to avoid and disconnect, but rather to be super present and to be aware that you have a lot to offer, whatever's going on, wherever you are at exactly at this moment right now. There is something that you can do. There is some way that you can help someone else on this earth, and it will not look the same for every person. But the biggest thing is to be present and to feel all the feelings that are happening in your body, to feel and acknowledge the realm that we're in, and to kind of to sit with it and to process it, and then from there you can decide what it is that you should be doing right now. And you have infinite permission for that. All right, last one. How can we connect to our joy? So for this is an oracle card from the Everyday Witch Tarot. We got Sun and Stars. So this is literally about the sun and stars in this deck. It's a really beautiful card. But how can we connect to our joy? Simple answer: go out under the sun and allow the sun to nourish you. If you need to, we go to spirit when we need to refill our cup, our waters, when we need to cleanse. If you need to refill your fires, reignite your passion and your energy, go out under the sun and just be with it. Allow the sun to fill you, allow the sun to energize you, shine your heart directly, open up your heart to the sun and allow it to fuel you. And you can do the same with the stars. You're not going to feel the heat necessarily, but if you go out into the night sky, under the night sky, and if you connect with the stars, just allow their celestial energy to come down and to energize you and to fill you up. And of course, you can definitely do that with a full moon. The full moon is a very potent time. So we have celestial allies up in the sky right now that are going to help remind us of our joy. And being with that energy, working with that fire energy, working with that passion, working with what we love, what really fuels us and drives us is going to kind of spark that joy and create that cycle of being in something that you love, being in something that you're passionate about, feeling fueled and held by nature, and what's burning in nature is going to help you to then remember that joy and experience it. And it's important to experience joy right now. It's important to still hold that in your body. You can hold grief and you can hold joy. You can be serious and you can be playful. You can be all of it. And we're all complex beings. So that is it for the reading today. I hope that this served. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please comment below. If anyone does want to donate, you of course don't have to, but if anyone does want to donate a Venmo, I will donate all proceeds this month to an organization that is funding justice right now. I hope that you all take really good care of yourselves, and I love you and I appreciate you and I see you and thank you for your part in the world and for being exactly who you are. Bye.